I was born in Tiffin, Ohio. It's a pretty small town. I went to Tiffin Columbian High School and I cheered all 4 years. Growing up in Tiffin was a lot of fun.
I was born in Rossford and lived there my whole life until I was 18. It's a very small city outside of Toledo, Ohio. It's big like football and basketball city. I graduated from Rossford High School and then I took a scholarship to play football at Ohio University.
Ohio University is one of the most beautiful campuses I've ever seen. I went to visit my brother 1 year and I just kind of fell in love.
Hey, we're back in Athens, Ohio, and this is where Corinne and I met, and this is kind of where the story begins, back in the 740.
We think Athens is the most beautiful campus in the world, and so is our love.
From my freshman year on, I kind of knew Corinne. She was a cheerleader, obviously, so I would see her at games and on bus rides and things like that. I wouldn't say I stalked her, but I just like to watch her from a distance a lot. We're here in Peden Stadium. This is where Corinne and I spent a lot of our Saturdays during the fall. Corinne was doing cartwheels and I was blocking for the triple option.
My first memory of Justin would definitely be our economics class. He kind of tutored me in the class, so I actually ended up with a better grade than he did.
And then after that, we'd start talking and I would see her at a couple parties and it just kind of evolved from there.
He had wanted to ask me out. I just thought he was a super nice guy.
All right, behind this door right here is where I finally got the courage to ask Corinne out. We were here for after-hour parties at Brad Wharton's house and had to give myself a little pep talk in the mirror. It was definitely kind of like do or die time for me. I kind of looked myself in the eye and said, all right, pal, it's time to get it together here and either make a move or she's going to graduate and you know, you're not going to see what could have happened.
He just kind of pulled me aside and said, am I wasting my time here? You know, should I keep trying to date you? I was like, well, maybe you should ask me out on a date first.
It wasn't like the confined, structured dating scene where it was just like mano a mano.
Isn't it so great being on a date together?
So, do you think I'm a good football player?
I think you're dreamy.
A lot consisted around, nighttime activities in Athens, Ohio.
Here we are at the famous Court Street, 22 bars. This is where Justin spent most of his time. I was usually at Alden Library.
I was developing social skills, by the way. There's something about Corinne, and maybe it was like the 3.5-year pursuit. But once we started dating, that was it. I was pretty decisive, and I told her, you know, I will marry you one day.
Yeah, we didn't start dating until spring quarter of my senior year. So, and he had another year because he was in football. So I graduated and moved to Columbus. And we kind of did the long distance thing. It was about 1.5 years.
We made a lot of trips back and forth to see each other.
We never missed a weekend. We drove every single weekend and my friends were like, you're crazy.
You know, she would come down to OU a lot. I would be up in Columbus a lot and, you know, we made it work.
We've lived in a lot of different places.
I took a position in Detroit as an analyst.
I transferred with my job to Detroit.
From there, our life has been pretty wild. Took a job with KeyBank in Cleveland. We both moved to Cleveland. Then we moved to Boston and then back to Cleveland, and now we're in San Diego.
San Diego has the most perfect weather you could ever imagine, and it's every single day. And you would think, you know, oh, I'll get sick of it every day, but you don't.
Some of the highlights to San Diego would definitely be to go downtown and check out the harbor area, to spend some time in Balboa Park, the San Diego Zoo, fish tacos, the Gas Lamp District.
This is the Gas Lamp District, the historic gas lamp. Great food, lots of restaurants, great live music, great bars, and tons of shopping.
We both love hiking, we love camping, and we're in a great area to do that. There's Torrey Pines.
We are in Torrey Pines State Park in front of the Pacific Ocean, just a couple miles from our house.
And it's known for its beaches. Definitely the La Jolla Cove, Seal Beach.
We're here on the beach in San Diego. This was one of the primary reasons I was able to get Corinne to move out of Ohio and away from all her friends and family. Here we are. Where we live, Cardiff by the Sea, it's kind of a little funky beach town. A lot of people that have lived in San Diego have never even heard of it. It has a lot of little shops and little weird restaurants that all have a nook.
We love our apartment. It's a little bit small, but it doesn't matter to us. It's steps away from the beach. It has the most amazing view of the ocean, sunsets. It's perfect for us. He had always been wanting to take me skiing for years. It was in Steamboat Springs. So we flew into Denver to meet our friends, Casey and Larson, and they were going to kind of follow us up to Steamboat Springs.
Corinne and I go out to a nice romantic candlelit dinner.
And it was very nice dinner, very expensive, which really isn't him.
And we come back to our hotel and the fireplace is going. We have the Rocky Mountains as our backdrop.
I was like, well, this is fun. When are Casey and Larson coming? And it was getting late. It was probably like 11:30. And he's like, oh, they're almost here. Just because of the snow, it's taking them a little bit longer. And he's like, you want some champagne while we're waiting for him?
I decide I'm gonna slip the ring in her glass of champagne. Well,
I don't really drink champagne. It's a little too sweet for me.
So we do a little toast to skiing, and at that time the bubbles in her glass start to fizzle away, and she looks right down in her glass and looks back up at me. And at that point, I'm sure my face got a little flushed because she didn't even acknowledge that the ring was in her glass. So,
and we're just sitting there for a while, 15, 20 minutes, and he's acting a little weird. He looked almost ill, and I looked at him I was like, did you eat some bad food? Are you okay? Like, what's wrong? He was even shaking a little bit.
I'm wondering, did she see it? Did she not see it? Did she see it and just not want to confront the issue? So she's ignoring the fact that there's a diamond ring in her glass of champagne.
He's like, just, why don't you drink your champagne, Very nervous.
And so I'm completely confused. I'm trying to spur her on. I think we did like 3 or 4 toasts. I was trying to get her to drink her champagne, or at least, keep glancing down. And
so I'm like, Justin, you know me, I don't really drink champagne.
And at this time, less than 1/4 of her glass of champagne has been drank. And, I'm thinking, does gold and diamonds start to corrode after being in champagne for a half hour? Or
so he's like, well, here, give me some of yours. So he pours mine into his glass, and out pops the ring. And then he got down on one knee. He proposed, and
she said yes, and she was crying, and it was pretty cool.
Our friends came in about 10 minutes after, and I wouldn't change one thing about it. It was perfect.
Love, I get so lost sometimes. Days pass resolution of all my fruitless searches. Oh, I see the light and the heat. Yes, I wanna be that complete. I wanna touch the light, the heat I see in your eyes.
Finding the person that you want to spend the rest of your life with is it's one of those things that isn't guaranteed in life, and I feel very fortunate and very blessed that I have found someone that I'm looking forward to spending the rest of my life with. Well, Corinne, I'm really glad our wedding day is finally here after 9 months of planning. You know, after the first 2 weeks, I told you I was going to marry you, and you know, I've never doubted it once. I cannot wait to spend the rest of my life with you, and I love you very much.
Well, I get so tired, working so hard.
Justin, you are the love of my life. I am so happy to be here with you on our wedding day. You're my best friend. Everywhere I go, everything I do is better because you're with me. You've made me happier than I ever imagined. And you make me feel more loved than I ever thought possible. You mean the world to me. I am so lucky, and I feel so blessed to have you with me. I can't wait to spend the rest of our lives together.
Without a noise, without my pride, I reach out from the inside. Complete. I see the doorways to 1,000 churches and resolution of all my fruitless searches. Whoa, I see the light and the heat. Yes, I want to be that complete. I wanna touch the light.